Hey Olivia, this is Jessica from Peterson SEO. Thank you so much for reaching out to me and requesting assistance and this free audit. So today we're going to go over a few things. We're going to look at your presence online, look at some of your competition, and then we'll talk about a few things that you can do to start driving traffic right away. All right, so let's get started with a search in the Atlanta area. So when somebody does a search, they'll put a search here in Google. So we have water damage restoration Atlanta. Now there are three parts, generally speaking, to a search. The top, you're generally going to see ads or a Google guaranteed ad. And this is one spot that you can own by having ads and a Google guarantee. Google guaranteed ads are great because these ads tell your customers that Google has verified your business, supports your business, and if anything goes wrong, they're going to help reimburse your customer some of that money. So this is a great place to be. The second spot you want to own is getting in the top three of this map pack here. This is your Google My Business profile or Google My Business page. Now, being in the top three here is critical because 30% of people search here in the maps and don't go anywhere else. So if you're not here in this top three, you're sending all those leads to your competitors. It is really critical that you be in the top three for all of your relevant keywords that you want to be found for. So now, in part of being in the top three, there's several factors that going into that. Part of it has to do with your website and how that performs, but a lot of it has to do with something called citations, and that's the name of your business, your address, phone number, and website, and listing those in a bunch of directories like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Glassdoor. And so you do need a lot more of those than your competitors. It also has to do with the photos, reviews, and there are several other factors as well. Okay, and now the third section, this is called your organic section. This is where 70% of people search. 70% of people skip the ads and the maps and come right here. So it's really important to be on the first page of Google for all of your local buyer intent keywords. So we can see here we have Angie's List, but your first actual competitor is going to be Reliable Restoration. But before we take a look at that, let's take a look at a search. I was searching for your business specifically, and I do see that you do have a Google My Business profile, so that's good. You're definitely going to want to optimize this profile. You need to have more photos than your competitors are using. You need to make sure those are geo-tagged and tagged with your keywords and your contact information. You want to make sure this profile is completely filled out. You get up to 750 words. So you want to optimize that with your local keywords and then start getting those 5-star Google reviews. That's going to be really important for you. So you definitely want to work on that so you can start to get into the top three of those maps. And I do see that you are listed in a couple of citations, which is good. But you're going to need a lot more of those citations. So now if we jump ahead to your website, I'm glad that you have a website. This is really critical. As I said, this is how you get found in the organic section. So when your website is done correctly, this should be like a virtual cash machine for you. But there are a lot of factors that you need to consider when building out your website. So the very first thing I noticed is your website is not secure. So this is going to be a huge problem. That means some people won't even be able to access your website. It also means that your website can be hacked and it could be stolen. Your business could have its identity stolen. There's a lot of things that can go wrong here, and it can cost you a lot of money down the road. So it's really critical to get your SSL certificate and get this website secured. I am really happy to see that you have a click to call phone number up here. This is important. You want to make it as easy as possible for your customers to reach you. I would also add a form right at the top of your page, giving them one other option that they can use to reach you at any time. Now, when you're building out your website, it is important to know that a one-page website like you currently have is not actually going to help you. You actually gonna need a separate page for every individual service that you offer so that you can build original content focused around your local buyer intent keywords. Now, those are going to be the keywords people are actively searching on Google for your services. I did notice some of these awards, which is awesome, but I noticed that these are all Idaho and your website is for Atlanta. So this is a little bit confusing, and I think it's going to confuse anybody that lands on your page. If we scroll down, we really don't have any content. We have a sentence here. We have a couple sentences here, and that's pretty much it. So what your homepage should be is a summary, right, about your business, who you are, and a summary of each of these individual services that you offer, focused around those local keywords that I mentioned. And then those keywords have to have a repetition to actually get picked up by Google so you can be indexed and start to rank. So it's going to be really, really important that you add this content to your homepage, and it should be a minimum of 1,500 words of content or more, depending on what your competitors are doing. The more content you have, the better, and it really gives you authority in Google's eyes. And each of your service pages will need to have enough content as well. Those generally are at least 500 words or more, focused around your local keywords. Now, if you're servicing outside of Atlanta, you also want to consider having separate pages for each of those service areas so you can be found in each of the communities that you service. So let's take a look at your top competitor organically, and that's Reliable Restoration. And you're going to notice that they have a separate page for each of their services. They have the click to call button here. Let's see what else they have. They have interlinking pages, which is important for your SEO, that's search engine optimization, which is what helps you to be found online. And they have content here. And you notice here, Atlanta water damage restoration. That is a local keyword. So they are focusing on local keywords, which is what's helping them rank and to get in the first spot. And you can see they have a lot more content. But really, they don't even have enough content. So you would definitely need more content than they have. But they also have, as I mentioned, separate pages for each of those service areas. So this is allowing them to be found organically online in the areas that they service. So this is really, really important. And so you definitely want to work on your content and keyword strategies so that you can be found online. And then support your website with SEO, because without it, you're not going to be found online. So if we take a look here, this is Ahrefs. It's a tool that tells us how your website is performing. And as you can see right now, you have zeros across the board. So this tells me your website is probably relatively new, because there's just no information and there's only one page. I could be wrong. this could be an older site and it may not pick up anything because there's just not enough content. But it is going to be really critical to work on those strategies so you can build the trust in Google, get indexed for keywords, and start driving traffic to your website. So now if we look at your competitor, we can see that they have a domain rating here of a 12, which is okay. It's not the greatest. And this score here is based 100% on their backlinks and referring domains. Now, a referring domain is any website that will provide your website with a link from their site to your site. And the backlink is just that physical link coming from another website. And so Google only gives you credit for one backlink per referring domain. And not all of these are created equal. So it's really important that you're only going after those referring domains and backlinks that are related to your industry and services so they can help give you the power and help you to rank those keywords. Because you're going to tie those links to your keywords so that you can get those ranking and drive traffic. These guys have been indexed for over 600 keywords, and they're getting over 700 people on average to their website every month. So you guys are missing out on a ton of potential customers by not having your website fully optimized. Taking a quick look at their keywords, you can see here these are buyer intent keywords. They're local keywords. And you can see that they have a ton of potential volume here that you could be driving in. Mold removals, 300. Water damage, 200. Atlanta water damage, 200. Mold removal Atlanta, 300. Mold remediation, 450. So you can see you have a ton of potential customers that are searching every single month for your services, but they're not going to find you without that optimization. So now, if you follow each of the tips I have provided you, your business and website has the opportunity to be number one in your service area for each of your services. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video and to reach out. I would love to get your thoughts on what you thought of this video and would love to chat. So if any questions, go ahead and reach back out to me, either through the chat or by giving me a call here, and we can talk more. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.